Hey beauty, in this episode I talk about what I am using right now to help my skin because I had a skin flare. This is so cheap, it's effective, it's safe, it's natural. This is why I love natural remedies. I love foods that can heal the body. I believe that God put so many wonderful things on this earth to help us to as tools for our health. Unfortunately, I feel like we've lost a lot of that wisdom just because of our culture, because of all the pharmaceuticals that we may or may not need. We've just kind of chucked all that natural stuff out the window. I mean, my hope is that a lot more people are open to it these days, but I just wanted to share this with you. I wasn't planning on doing this episode. It was kind of a last minute thing. I just really wanted to share this with you because it's been so helpful for me. So if you're having skin issues, gut issues, any kind of health issues, just pray about these things. See your healthcare practitioner as needed. I also wanted to remind you of my free Facebook group. If you're interested, go to facebook.com/group/her holistic healing. We can share health tips. We can pray over each other. We can network together. I would love to meet you. With all that being said, let's get into the show. Welcome to Her Holistic Healing. Do you want more energy and less anxiety so that you can do all the things? Are you searching for meal ideas, essential oils, and other holistic treatments? Do you wish you could know which direction to take with your health so that you could finally feel better? Hey, I'm Alexandra. I love Jesus. I'm a wife, mom of 3, and registered nurse with years of experience in clinical research. I also wanted more energy so that I could have more fun and keep up with my growing child. I too was confused about all the different diet and treatment options. I too wanted to wake up every day and feel good, but I felt anxious because I couldn't solve the mystery of my health. Until God showed me that He is the source of true healing. In this podcast, you will learn holistic treatments and Bible truths that will lead you to the peace, joy, and freedom that you have been hoping for. So what do you say we take a break from the mind-numbing humdrum busyness? Let's rest and let God be our healer and helper. So I'm almost ready to release my book. It's amazing how many tiny pieces to put together before a book release, but I'm almost ready to release my book. And when someone was reading my book, she said that something that is missing is I don't include, well, let me back up. In the book, I talk all the time, and I'm always talking to you guys about how we need to seek God's wisdom first, go to God first whenever we make a health decision or any decision really. And she said something that was missing from my book was I didn't describe what I've heard from God and how I heard from God and things like that. So I wanted to tell you what's been going on with my skin. If you've been listening, you know that I had a really bad psoriasis flare, whatever you want to call it. I had before really bad issues with my skin. So I kind of went on this journey. I changed my diet. I learned about natural remedies and all that stuff. And along the way, God showed me that it's not always about diet and things like that. A lot of it has to do, for me anyway, has to do with when I'm having trouble trusting God. That's when I get stressed out and then my body gets inflamed. So anyway, ever since I did a cleanse, my skin has gotten a whole lot better. But every now and then I still have these flares. So I was having this flare, and usually what I do when I have bad flares, well, what's been happening is I usually do something to help my body. I change my diet or something like that. Or when I ask God, I feel like He just wants me to rest more or something like that. But for this time around, it started getting worse. And then I was planning to do the cleanse that I did back in 2018 or something that really helped. I've been doing that cleanse once or twice a year, and it's super helpful. It's kind of pricey though. So when I went to church a couple of Sundays ago, I was so excited because I felt like God was speaking to me. I was I didn't want to spend the money on this cleanse because it's pretty expensive. So I was talking to a friend of mine at church who I hadn't talked to in a long time. She said that she changed her diet and it helped a lot, but then she went traveling and then she started eating all these things that she had stopped eating, and it really did a number on her stomach. But she said that she started taking apple cider vinegar and it really helped. And it just reminded me, back when my skin was really bad, I tried a whole bunch of things, and when you do that all at once, it's kind of hard to know what is actually helping and what is not. So I think I mentioned apple cider vinegar in episode 58. If you want to learn more about detoxing and cleansing, go to episode 58. But when she said this, I started taking apple cider vinegar again. So, and long story short, my skin started getting better basically the very next day. And as I look at my hands now, it's almost completely back to normal. So I wanted to share with you more about apple cider vinegar. So what is it exactly? This article was written by Dr. Josh Axe. He wrote this for, I guess, Vitamin Shop's blog. Dr. Josh Axe is just a wealth of information. I think I mentioned him a lot on the podcast. So if you're just getting started, I highly recommend his blogs. He also is the co-founder of Ancient Nutrition, I believe. He's wrote a lot of books. But anyway, so apple cider vinegar is made by fermenting apple cider. Because of the fermentation process, it contains beneficial bacteria, enzymes, and acids. So it's super good for your body. Here are the top 5 benefits of apple cider vinegar. It supports healthy weight. It supports healthy blood sugar, promotes heart health, enhances skin health, supports proper digestion. Let me back up. A while ago, when I was having skin issues, maybe in 2018 or something like that, I saw a functional medicine practitioner, and after she did the testing, she saw that I had just a ton of bacteria in my gut. And ever since then, whenever I get skin flares or I feel like I have brain fog or inflammation, I always think to myself, I just wish that I had something to pour inside of my body to just flush out all the crap, all the disgusting crap in my body. And I feel like apple cider vinegar is just that. It's this natural cleanser that helps clean out your gut. So if you're interested in adding apple cider vinegar to your health regimen, you can, what I've been doing is I take 1 tablespoon in water in the morning and 1 tablespoon at night. I don't take it on an empty stomach because for me it causes stomach upset, and I don't think that's recommended anyway to take it on an empty stomach. Listen to your body. Just as a reminder, I'm not your doctor. I am a nurse, but I'm not your nurse. So I'll always tell you to pray about it first. And then if you feel like you should see your healthcare practitioner, please do so. So if you want to add this to your healthcare regimen, get the organic, raw, fermented, unpasteurized, they call it with the mother. Get that apple cider vinegar. Bragg's, B as in boy, RAGGS is a good brand. Make sure you dilute it because it can irritate the lining of your throat, and it can contribute to tooth enamel erosion. You could also mix it in a smoothie. You could also look for recipes that use apple cider vinegar in them. You could use it as a salad dressing as well. So that's what I've been doing. I've been using apple cider vinegar. Also, I was just looking through my kitchen cabinets. I had bought the psyllium husk fiber. I was trying to make this gluten-free bread, which did not turn out to be tasty at all, but I had the psyllium husk fiber sitting around. Part of my issue is that my bowel movements are irregular, and I'm not vigilant about making sure I have regular bowel movements every day or at least every other day. So what I also started doing was I started taking psyllium husk fiber. Psyllium is a shrub-like herb used to make psyllium seed husk products that are most commonly used for natural constipation relief. This is another article from Dr. X. It can be used to help diarrhea, lower cholesterol, manage blood sugar, lower blood pressure, and it can be used for weight management. I also had some leftover magnesium in my cabinet, so I started taking some of that right before I go to bed. A lot of us are deficient in magnesium. I'm not going to go into magnesium right now. That might take a while. I will say that if you are going to take magnesium supplements, be sure to choose magnesium from reputable companies. Don't just go for the cheapest, because you get what you pay for, so make sure you do your own research. So as I was thinking about all these things to try to clear out my skin, to clean out my gut, a lot of health issues occur from an unhealthy gut. As I was trying to add fiber to my diet to just have more regular bowel movements and everything like that, I was reminded of a podcast that I heard. They were talking about Miralax. So I wanted to ask you, because I guess a lot of people use Miralax, but do you know what Miralax is? Miralax is made out of polyethylene glycol, or PEG for short. This article comes from Jill Carnahan. She's an MD. She's a functional medicine practitioner. So PEG is a type of compound that's derived from the byproducts produced during the refinement of petroleum, natural gas, or coal. So when used as a laxative, it's typically taken in a powder form mixed with water or juice, and can be found under various names, including Clearlax, Gavalax, Gaialax, Glycolax, Healthylax, Miralax, PEG 3350, Sunmark Clearlax. It can also be found in emollients, emulsifiers, depth enhancers, pharmaceuticals, it's used for wood preservation, printing, chemical mixtures, textiles, leather processing, plastics, resins, paper, ceramics, glass, and rubber. Some side effects include an allergy to polyethylene glycol, digestive issues, electrolyte imbalances. I bring all this up because if you're struggling with constipation, I feel like there's so many other natural ways that you can help your body with that. I mean, polyethylene glycol, it's definitely not a food, and supposedly there's not enough research that shows that it can be toxic to humans, but I mean, there are plenty of foods that are high in fiber, like avocados, berries, coconut, black beans, chickpeas, lentils, nuts, flax seeds, quinoa, chia seeds. You could take the psyllium husk fiber like I have been. I also want to mention, if you're struggling with constipation and you think you might have a pelvic floor issue due to childbirth or something like that, pelvic prolapse, anything like that, you can go to episode 42 where my amazing guest talks about that. I'm not against all synthetic medications, but I really feel like if you're constipated, if you're trying to clean out your gut, if you're having those types of troubles, there are a lot of natural things that you can do for that. So I just wanted to share that with you. I just thought that it was so cool that I really feel like God led me to that conversation with my friend, which led me to start taking apple cider vinegar again. And then I had psyllium husk fiber in my cabinet. I also had magnesium, so I didn't have to spend a whole lot of money to clean out my body. And that's the thing. If we just ask God for his advice, if we lean on him, he will lead us. He will provide for us in different ways. He can heal us right away supernaturally, or he might want us to change our habits. He might want us to sleep more. He might want us to trust in him more. You know, there are just so many ways we can improve our health, and it doesn't need to be expensive. It's It's safe, it's natural, it's effective. I mean, these are the things that we actually take as foods, right? We can use apple cider vinegar as a salad dressing. We can use psyllium husk fiber when we're trying to make gluten-free bread or when we're trying to make other things. These are the things that our body recognizes. These are the things that our body uses and needs. So I really want to encourage you, if not apple cider vinegar, I just hope that your eyes will be open to everything that God has provided to you for your healing, for your joy, for your taste buds. And I know there are so many people out there who are struggling with their health. I know that there are people that have tried a bunch of things. I just want to say that God sees you. There's always hope for you. God does things on his own timing. God is such a good father. So I just pray for healing over each and every one of you. I pray for wisdom. I hope that you got something out of this episode, and I will talk to you guys soon. I'm so glad that you took the time to listen today. If you liked what you heard, will you leave me a review on Apple Podcasts so that this show can reach more people? And if you want to connect with me, go to herholistichealing.com. Matthew 11, verses 28 through 30. Come to me, all who labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and lowly in heart, and you will find rest for your souls.
For you is easy and my burden is light.